comedian David Boyle and I'm quitting alcohol. I just want to say thank you to everyone who supports the Patreon. I got my first Patreon payout today. I got some money for the very first time ever for this podcast, and it feels good. It feels fucking good. Now when my wife goes, "What are you going to do for work?" I'll be like, "What the fuck are you talking about? I've got a job. I'm self-employed. I'm a freelancer. I've been calling it work for the last 2 years anyway." Now when she goes, "When are you going to start bringing some money in?" I'll be like, "Hey, there's some fucking money there." Now at least I've got something to fucking show. I can be like, "Look, that's 1 week's rent and a tank of fuel to get you to your job." So really, I just want to thank everyone who's signed up to the Patreon so far. You've given me a job. I've got a fucking job now. And this is the job I want. I'm happy doing this. I like doing this. I try and put some effort into it. I try and make it funny. I try and entertain you cunts. And I did feel a little bit guilty. I have to admit that I was calling it work for 2 years and not bringing any fucking bacon home. It's not heaps of bacon. It's not as much bacon as I'd be bringing home if I actually had a job. But the value of this money is so much more than just the dollar amount. I'll give you the dollar amount. Just for posterity's sake, I earned 602 fucking sweet smackaroos this month. So hopefully in like a year, I can look back at this episode and go, fuck, remember when I was only earning $602 a month? Hopefully it's not the opposite. Hopefully I'm not looking back at this episode and going, fuck, remember the good old days when I was earning $602 a month? Man, they were good times, those $602 days. 602 is great. I'm fucking jacked about 602. It would have been more, but there was a few fucking declined credit cards. A few of you got to the fucking bar and were like, "Sorry, bruh, I forgot me wallet." There's always someone who's trying to skip their fucking round, isn't there? There's always someone trying to weasel out of their fucking turn. No, but seriously, if your card's getting declined for $8, don't worry about it. It's all good. You're obviously in a little bit of a rough patch, so don't worry about it. It's all good. When you get your shit together, you just buy us a drink then. It's actually less than 602 as well. So this is how it works. Patreon takes 8% of the monthly earnings, and then I've got to pay for some of the currency exchanges, which ended up being about $40. So there was 80 out of that. And then I've got to transfer it to like a PayPal, and I think that costs like $20 in itself. And then on top of that, I've got to start paying tax on my fucking sweet Patreon money because it's officially my job now. But who gives a fuck? I am stoked. So keep subscribing to the Patreon. Don't be a rat dog cunt, as my brother calls me. The link to the Patreon is in the bio of all my social media, or just message me personally and I'll send you the fucking link with a little bit of a fucking wink wink emoji. Also, there is no Boyle Breaks history again this week because it's starting to feel like fucking homework. If I don't have a topic that I'm truly interested in, it's like grinding my head against stone. I just can't get the information in. I was going to do naltrexone, which is that opium and alcohol suppressing fucking drug, but that's going to take a lot longer than the 13 minutes I was willing to put in today. Then I looked at the history of tobacco, and the history of tobacco is mainly slavery. And then I was like, maybe I'll do the history of slavery. I might do that next week, the history of slavery, but white slavery. White slavery only. I'm going to mainly focus on the Irish and the ancient Greeks. All the other slavery I'm just going to blow over. They're the main ones I'm really going to focus on. Back in the day, like ancient history and shit, did black people ever have white slaves? Surely they did at some point. Or was there no white people around then? There was only albinos, and who wants an albino slave? You would get absolutely nothing done with albino slaves. It's either too hot or too cold for them. They start shivering at like 24 degrees Celsius, and then they get heat stroke at like 26 degrees Celsius. This could actually be a comedy bit. Maybe I won't go too into it. That's not bad, actually. I could develop that into something if I ever do fucking stand-up again. So if you come out and see me and you hear the white albino slave bit, pretend you haven't heard it before. Just laugh. Anyway, that is it for tonight. Thank you for like the 15th time. Thank you to everyone who's already subscribed to the Patreon. I appreciate it, and I'll see ya the fuck later.